Okay, so we just finished a Dressrosa arc, and obviously Doflamingo was captured, and we saw what exactly happened. And now with everything that's going on Zoe, I'm starting to wonder: is Doflamingo actually ever going to be freed, or is he going to escape on his own? There's a lot of different theories, a lot of different people speculating on what's going to happen with Doflamingo, and his eyes, and in my opinion, more of his backstory. I feel like we still have a lot to learn about Doflamingo, and that's why I think that at some point we will definitely see more of him. But what do you think, Legend Mac? Do you think he'll escape, or do you think I don't know? What are your thoughts? Because I don't think I've heard your thoughts on this.
Well, Doflamingo, he was the kingpin of the New World. Like he controlled some of the most legendary pirates, yo. Like he was the puppeteer, say the so, like no pun intended. But Doflamingo right now, I think it's too soon for him to escape. Or not, he could escape, but I think it's too soon for him to be back in the plot, yo. Escaping, I don't really mind, yo, if he escapes right now. But we had 100 chapters of Doflamingo, yo. I think we should have a nice breather before we see the legendary man, yo. In my opinion, he's the greatest villain in One Piece for like an our story arc, yo. So.
No, you're right. Yeah, I didn't think about this. So we did just sort of have him for 100 chapters. I think it's good to not put him on the sidelines for a little bit, considering we have so many villains that we have yet to see. I mean, we just got a glimpse of Buggy.
Yes.
We just got a small glimpse of the Blackbeard pirates. We missed a couple of them. And we just got a little bit of Dragon here,
Yes.
a little bit of the Kazaru post time skip. So there's a lot of other characters that really need to shine. And I think that's you bring up a good point. That's a really good point. That
Mhm.
I think that if Doflamingo is to escape or something is going to happen later on, because I really had a small, or not, how should I say this? I was really hoping that Jack would actually manage to get Doflamingo somehow, but it looks like he did fail. So
Yes.
I'm not, now that you bring that up, I'm fine with it. I'll say what we'll wait to see Doflamingo much later on in the story, once he sort of plays a different role, maybe a different purpose. So
Doflamingo really reminds me of Crocodile. 'Cause Doflamingo was an overpowered villain, yo. Like I see him as the first actual villain of the New World. And I say Crocodile is the most first villain of the New World. And Crocodile was really overpowered, yo, when Luffy finally defeated him, and same with Doflamingo. So
yeah.
we didn't see Crocodile for a long time since Impel Down, yo. That's like a good 3 arc span or 3 to 4 arc span. I'm not too sure right now, yo. But Doflamingo, I think we might not see him for a couple arcs, and then when we do see him, it's gonna make the fandom go crazy. Kind of like with Rob Lucci when we saw him like recently in these latest chapters.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see what Rob Lucci's gonna do, man, because Cypher Pole Zero is supposed to be super strong. So for him to be part of it, I don't know if I assume that they know he's in it, but I don't know if they're disguised. It's still up in the air. But yeah, going back to Doflamingo, what do you think about his eyes? What do you think about? Do you think we'll see more of his backstory? Do you think his eyes are cursed or whatever? Has some
With
sort of special technique?
I think that really interested me was the whole left eye being blind. That really interested me because all the situations that were connected with it, like Sanji going to kick him and other things. Like he's always been caught off guard on his left side. I think that's what I'm not too sure about it,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, I remember. I like that theory. I remember reading that one.
yeah, it's really interesting and it doesn't really make it like a OP power, like some next level power, yo. But him being blind in the left eye or something traumatic that happened to him in the past that affected him, that would be really interesting to see, in my opinion, for his
Yeah, because
arcs.
we still haven't seen him without the glasses. So Oda obviously has some sort of plan.
And we've been teased.
Yeah, and we've definitely been teased. So, and I think it's safe to assume that if there is someone with some sort of visual power or some sort of eye, it's gonna be Zoro. I think it's
Oh,
safe to say Zoro will be the one if there is anyone who has that. So when Zoro opens that eye, he'll probably have some ability, and so that means Doflamingo's probably we could probably get a flashback, another flashback, or some sort of dialogue next time we do see him. And you bring up a really good point about Crocodile
mhm.
that we saw him at Impel Down, and seeing as how as most people have realized by now, the New World is following a pattern similar to that of the Grand Line.
Most
Then maybe at
definitely.
some point we'll see him at Impel Down if we ever go back.
Or the thing with it, Doflamingo, his speech, I gotta say that his speech during 801 really like Doflamingo for some reason ever since Marineford, yo, all the way to Jaya, he's always had impactful speeches to the story, yo. So when Doflamingo returns, I can already see him having another impactful speech, another impact, saying something so impactful. Him and Luffy having a moment of a return, kind of like with Impel Down when Luffy saw Crocodile. He was not pleased to see Crocodile. Let's just say that, yo. So I can already see them, but
Yeah,
Crocodile was an integral part yo, in saving Ace, yo.
no, you're right, man. Like it's like Doflamingo. Anytime he like speaks important stuff.
My favorite, my
He gets
favorite
to the
line.
point. Go ahead.
My favorite line from Doflamingo is, when he's talking about justice and how the person who wins is pretty the good guys and the person who loses the bad guys, yo. That's pretty much it, yo.
Yeah, yeah. That's. I think that's what makes Doflamingo so menacing is that he gets straight to the point,
Hmm.
and he's not afraid, man. He's not afraid to do what he has to do.
He,
But or go ahead.
it's looking at him like, remember that scene when he was talking to people have not too sure, but it's not been confirmed, but people are saying it's one of the CP0 members because of the hat.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So Doflamingo, it may be that Jack failed. It might be someone else who gets Doflamingo out of jail. Maybe a crisis in Mary Joa might cause them to call on the Heavenly Demon, to return. So I'm not.
Yeah, and, you bring up a really good point too. Is that okay? It was captured by the Marines. Will the Tenryubito or the nobles just bail him out? I don't
Yes,
know. I don't know if they even want to do that. At this point, I want to know more about the national treasure,
yes.
and because Dofi knows that secret, and I want
Dofi
to
knows a
know. I
lot.
want how dangerous is that? Is it better off to have him captured?
And
Maybe
my
for them. I don't know.
the whole relationship with Suru, the ways he was talking to Suru, like I forgot about this before, but Suru and him had that meeting early on when we first seen Doflamingo's name, his moniker, and seeing Doflamingo playing with vice admirals, and I seen Suru talking about, hey, calm down, boy, like they have a weird relationship. Suru was following him back in the law flashback, but they can coincide together, they can talk together. It's really interesting.
Yeah, Suru and Dofi definitely have a long history. And I wanted to see more of that speech that they were talking, on the boat, but unfortunately, it's sort of cut short. So I guess the last thing we want to talk about here is that, like I was mentioning earlier, will we see him at Impel Down again? Maybe there will be another sort of rescue arc, and then Dofi will help out Luffy. There's been some people saying that, and I mean it's One Piece. I wouldn't want it to happen, but I could see it happening.
Hmm.
Again, it wouldn't surprise me, and maybe Crocodile will bail out Dofi or
Yes.
something, and that would sort of be the reverse. It's like Dofi was asking Crocodile if he wanted to join him, whereas
Uh,
now maybe the second time Crocodile will rescue Doflamingo and say, "Hey, do you want to join me?"
it would be
Uh,
ironic, yo. It would
yeah,
be
yeah. So that'd be something pretty fun, I think.
something far on the left wing. What if Kaido hears about the news, yo? That's something out of it's really out there, but it could happen, yo.
Oh,
Kaido,
he'll definitely hear about the news. He'll
yes.
definitely hear after what
Wonder
happened to
what his
Jack,
reaction is.
which is on the news.
Yes, a
So
lot
yeah,
of
I guess
interesting.
closing thoughts. What do you think is the fate of what would you say, or what are your opinions on the fate of Doflamingo?
My opinions on if he does escape, he won't be shown in the story for a long time. But it might be like it'll be cool just let him be captive for a bit, yo. Let him stay like Crocodile, just chill, yo. And when the time comes, he will leave, yo. Like Shiki, like Crocodile, like all the info down escapees.
No, yeah, no, yeah, I agree. The fact that we didn't get a cover story about him yet, no, we might get the one next after the current one, but the
Yes,
fact that we didn't get a cover story yet implies that we might not see him for a while. So
which
I'm
could
fine
be
with that. Like I said, let's make some room for some of the other characters that we need to talk about that we haven't talked about in a while. And when
most
the time
definitely.
comes, maybe Impel Down V2 version 2, then maybe we'll see him
Hey.
again. But until then, I'll definitely miss Doflamingo. He's a really cool character. So.